Okay, we will reconvene the regular council meeting. The first item on the agenda is the council meeting minutes for approval, and there is two minutes to be adopted, and that is the regular council meeting of December 8th, 2025, and the special council meeting of December 11th, 2025. First and seconder, all those in favor, and that was carried. Thank you. And we do have a few resolutions actually from the December 8th, 2025 committee meeting at the whole to be considered for adoption. And the first one is that the following item considered for information on December 8th at the committee of the whole be adopted. And there's two reports. Here's the building department report and the bylaw department report, both for November 2025. Is there someone to make that motion, please? Is there a seconder, please? We have a motion, a first and a seconder, please. Thank you. All of those in favor? Thank you. That was carried. And on to motions or resolutions from the January 12th, 2026 committee of the whole meeting to be considered for adoption. And the first ones, we have reports and meeting minutes of council committees. We have the Silver City Days Committee meeting minutes from December 8th. Is there any Councillor Benson or Councillor Ashall?
Tons of folks out here waiting for us to start. Do you guys want to grab some chairs here? Or can let's folks sit down and a nice seat to sit.
Okay, the Trail Health and Environment committee meeting for September 16th, 2025. I feel that we've already done those minutes, spoken about those, and then the Trail Health and Environment committee meeting of December 4th, 2025. Is there a motion to hold on a sec. Sorry, Mr. McClure, did you have anything for December 4th meeting? That's right. Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I've read that.
So is there a motion to receive those reports, please? Someone? All those in favor? Thank you. That's carried. Okay, on to Councillor Martin, the Retail District of Kootenay Boundary Report.
Thank you, through the chair. There wasn't a lot of meetings, trust me, so. But the RDKB is in the process of hiring a new CAO. Applications have been shortlisted, and the initial interviews will begin later this week. The current RDKB CAO previously gave notice of his employment ending at the end of February, so we're in that process. And that's all I got for the regional district. But on another note, the Trail Historical Society will be having their AGM on January the 22nd in the multipurpose room of the Riverfront Center at 5:30. If you want to go, please RSVP to the secretary and I can send you this Trail Historical Society 2018 at gmail.com by January the 20th if you'd like to attend the meeting. That's it for my report.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Martin. We do have a couple of items, correspondence for information. The first one is the letter from Tech Metals, and that's a letter dated December 16th. And it's the one about Tech and Anglo American merger. And we also received a letter from the Ministry of Housing and Municipal Affairs. And it was a UBC on follow-up. Is there a motion to receive those for information?
100%.
Thank you, seconder, and all those in favor. Thank you, that was carried. I see no correspondence for action. I, as well, following in Councillor Martin's footsteps here, have a very short mayor's report. I wanted to report out to council that we had, I had a meeting with the group that are wanting to move forward with Champion House. And I think I invited council to participate in that. And it was actually a really good meeting. Like, they're still very interested in supporting us with some kind of housing And what it looks like is what they want it to look like is whatever council is trying to move forward, like if it's affordable or, you know, supportive housing. And they definitely want to make sure that it includes some kind of mental health and addiction treatment. But it was a really good meeting. Like I said, they're very supportive of it. They just wanted to check in. It's been a while since we've heard from them. And they just wanted to check in and see if there's still interest from council moving that forward. So we are going to stay in contact and I will share any information that I can. And they're still doing researching and we'll share it with us as well. And that's my report. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work with the emergency weather response center. We're not sure what that's looking like either. We're still looking into some of the results of the building code that was put in for the United Church downstairs and consequently over at Selkirk, the skills center at the gymnasium. So we're still kind of working around that. And hopefully we'll, you know, be able to come up with a resolution. If not for this year, we'll have something for next year. And yeah, that's my report. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Sure, go ahead, Councilor.
Yeah, thank you,
Ketchel.
Jones. So the emergency weather response shelter, that's through BC Housing, correct? But there's also another funding stream through the Ministry of Emergency Management and Climate Readiness for a warming center. Have we looked at the option of going warming center, and would it be easier to maybe set something like that up versus a shelter? Because the warming center, I understand, doesn't have beds or cots, which obviously would be nice to have for overnight, but maybe, is there a way to shortcut and maybe bypass BC Housing and deal directly with the Ministry of Emergency Management and Climate Readiness to open up a warming center? Because the main objective here, and I think I'm preaching to the choir, obviously, is to get people indoors when our threshold meets -10, which we met that threshold, by the way, a couple of weeks ago. To get them indoors, to save them from suffering from hypothermia and also to prevent loss of limb through frostbite. Whether we have a bed or not, to me, shouldn't be the priority. It should just be getting them indoors into a heated space. So have we looked at pivoting away from BC Housing and going that route? And if not, you know, why haven't we? I guess that would be my question. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we are looking at an emergency weather warming center at this time. The difficulty is finding a space because the building code does not. The problem is that our volunteers and the people that are looking after the unhoused individuals that are coming into the shelter or the warming center, they feel that there should be an opportunity for people to sleep and get looked after, get their wounds looked after, have a meal, have a shower, you know, get cleaned up if they can. And trying to stop them from sleeping is, you know, just not humane. I mean, if they fall asleep in their chair, you know, how do you sorry, what's what I'm looking for? Like, how do you watch that? Like, who's the one that's going to go over and wake them up and make sure that, you know, they are responsible and are able to get up and move out of the shelter? It's a very difficult situation right now. It really, really is. People will come in when they're coming into the shelter, they're sick and they need support, they need help.
So what they need, your worship, is to get out of the cold. They need to be out of the freezing elements. And so if it's easier to get into a warming center without a bed and to keep them from freezing to death, then that would be the option that maybe we could look at. And we may have perhaps this, you know, and sprinklers seem to be the issue. And getting signed off from the regional district on a safe place, which I totally appreciate. But perhaps maybe the city has buildings that we could use as a warming center that do have sprinkler systems that are not being used overnight, that sit empty, that are heated. I'm just wondering if those options have been considered as well.
Well, we have looked at, tried to find different options. The problem is, in a community like ours, our buildings are old and a lot of them don't have that sprinkler system that, the building code is, that is required by the building code. So we've sat around the table and we've tried to figure out where's a different area that would work. And we were actually quite excited at the skills center because the gymnasium just had their fire system upgraded in 2023. But who builds a gymnasium nowadays or a space for people to sleep in? It's not common in communities to find those kind of rooms or areas. So what we are looking for is a space where people can use it to come in out of the cold and to get warmed up. It's a difficult situation. Like we've had several conversations around tables, trying to find a space, trying to work around the building code. And for some reason, it's not. We haven't been able to come to a conclusion on this, Councillor Paschal, and it is something that I think that as council, we all want to see something opened for people to be able to come in off the street. It's
Well,
a
yeah,
very difficult situation.
this is gonna probably create some backlash, but I mean, look at the Riverfront Center, which is of course one of our pinnacle assets and a beautiful building. People will be outside that building at -10. And yet the building is empty. And there is room in there for a warming center, not necessarily a shelter, but a place we could open and have people come in. I would assume that it would have sprinklers. It's a brand new building. I'm just using that as an example. I realize there's issues around it, but I would also say that if the building is open, that we have security. We take all the measures we need to protect the asset. And every dime that's spent is forwarded to the Ministry of Emergency Management Climate Ready. They pay for everything. And I mean, I'm just throwing that out there as an idea. For me, it just seems, we have schools sitting empty, and other buildings in our community that sit empty, vacant, unused. They're all heated. And yet we can't find a spot. And I appreciate the amount of work that's gone into this. And I know that it is complicated, but my suggestion was, and I guess you've already addressed it, is kind of streamline it. So maybe the sprinkler system seems to be the barrier here is to try to eliminate that, open up a warming center. We can still look for spaces to run an extreme weather response shelter, but in the meantime, have a place that we can open up and allow people to get in under the freezing cold. Thank you. That's all I have.
Well, but I just want to let you know that we have looked at that, even on our emergency weather response plan that we had to have for the United Church in the last 2 years. We've had all that information in the plan. We've had 3 people a night on fire watch. So one stays in the building and 2 people go out every half hour and check the outside of the building and make sure that nobody is having fires out there. And they stay up all night, 3 people every night watching the individuals that are downstairs, either having something to eat, trying to have a shower out of the sink in the bathroom down there, or they are sleeping in their cots, which they probably haven't had a bad for how many months, the opportunity to have a meal, to have a bathroom. So I mean, we've been looking at all of this. And you're right, the block is the sprinkler system. That's the block that we're coming up against, and we need to find something to work around that, because not every building will have a sprinkler system. Councillor Benson.
Thank you, through the chair. I think Nick is fully agreeing with you on that. What he's saying is, at what point is it too late and now we don't have a warming center or anything? I'd rather see people inside and warm than outside with nothing because they can't have a nap. I volunteered each year now at the warming centers, and it was, yes, for sure, some people did sleep, but most of the time it was they're just in and out and coming in to get warm and then going back out. So it would be nice to have Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
exactly, a place, thank you, yes, that's what I was trying
So,
to
like-
articulate.
Still like working for that,
Right.
but if
So-
there's somewhere that maybe doesn't need a sprinkler system, that people can go and have their wounds looked at, warm up, have some food,
Mhm.
and maybe understand that you can't, there's no cots there, but here's a nice comfy chair you can
Mhm.
sit in and.
Totally agree, and we looked at that, and that was the second option that we looked at was the skill center, and we decided that when it didn't have the sprinkler systems. We were going to look at that for a warming center,
Okay.
so we sort of. We had to let them know that yes, it was the perfect spot for us because it is a great area for a warming center, and. And I'm just gonna be honest, by the time we got the fire department in to do the inspection there, the operator that we had for the United Church has decided that they don't want to be a part of the warming center if there's not an opportunity to have a place for people to sleep. They've just taken that stance, and so now we don't have volunteers.
But there could be a warming center at the skills center gymnasium, even though there isn't a sprinkler system, is that correct?
Mhm. Yeah, we were looking, because we went away from the shelter. And because of the sprinkler system not being there, and we're moving towards the warming center.
But we don't have volunteers to run it if it.
We don't have an operator at this time.
If it's an emergency weather response shelter funded by BC Housing, then we have Angkors, is that correct?
Anchors
as
is gonna
a,
be a profit, yeah.
As a nonprofit, but if we go the other route with the warming center, interesting, and it's quite complicated, like how
It
these
is
two
very
ministries, and they don't complement each other. And who gets left holding the the ball on this is the municipality.
If I may, I made a chart, cause I was having trouble keeping the two. Separated, the warming center, and it's with Mark Stevens right now, just for a final look and send it to everybody. It's just. Like at what threshold, who pays for it, how it goes through, so.
Mhm.
Won't help with the situation, but was explaining to you.
Appreciate your.
Thanks, Ed.
Your worship as well, if my understanding is correctly, before I left, as we were having these conversations, is that. I think you actually have to get something as an override from EMWC to
Mhm.
actually have a warming shelter that's an overnight.
Mhm.
If it's a warming shelter during the day. Then they will support, but they will not support a warming shelter that's just over the night, so. So it's complicated and there is one component or one piece that was shared that is possible, or apparently other communities, I believe Kelowna, Nanaimo,
Mhm.
a couple others that have basically motions from council to sort of either take on the risk or to kind of have the zoning not apply. So that's something that now that I'm back, we'll take a look at. I'm not sure how easy it is to get it in place. And as you know, we have meetings and then we've got to have first year meetings and adoption and things like that. But that's certainly something that we are looking towards to try to do our best to resolve the situation.
That's a very difficult, complex situation.
Yeah. And we're just fortunate that right now the temperature is not in a situation. I know that it's colder, but it's not at a the deep freeze kind of.
Okay. So we'll move on to bylaws for consideration.
Sorry, okay, just so. No emergency weather response shelter, which was the overnight one funded by BC Housing because of the sprinkler system. But we are looking at a warming center. We just don't have anyone to run it. Is that where we're at right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
the operators that we had for the other. For the shelter and then the warming center, they said they would do the warming center.
The warming center or the emergency shelter?
Yeah, sorry, the emergency shelter, yes.
They would do the overnight one, but they wouldn't do a warming center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tammy McLean and her team wouldn't do a warming center?
Yes, they're saying that they want a space where people can sleep.
All right, well, the record is on the record, so thank
Yeah.
you.
I'll send you her letter. Okay. Are you okay? Counselor?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, it went Yeah,
I know, it's hard to keep track of. So we have bylaw number 2965, and that is the one that we discussed today, earlier in our committee of the whole. It's the new municipal officers bylaw for consideration, and the, motion is that the municipal officers bylaw number 2965 for 2026 be read a first, second, and third time. So moved. Okay, thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. That was carried. And then we have the bylaw number 2967, 2026, and that is the bylaw to rezone the property at number 12 Hazelwood Drive to allow for a short-term rental accommodation. And the resolution is that zoning amendment bylaw number 2967, 2026 be read for a first and second time. And further, that staff be directed to proceed with the required statutory notice and schedule a public hearing in accordance with section 466 of the Local Government Act. Thank you. Councillor Hanson, is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Butler. All those in favor? And that is carried. Bylaw number 2968, 2026 is to rezone the property at 3249 Lilac Crescent to allow for a short-term rental accommodation. And the motion is that the zoning amendment bylaw number 2968, 2026 be read a first and second time. And further, that staff be directed to proceed with the required statutory notice and schedule a public hearing in accordance with section 466 of the Local Government. Okay, thank you. All those in favor? Thank you, that was carried. I don't see any notice of motions. Next meeting is January 26, 2026 for the Committee of the Whole. And it will be held here in the Council Committee Room. And now we have question period. Are you here for question period?
Well, we weren't sure.
Oh, are you
But
from
I-
Hazelwood Drive?
Yes, I.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
I do have a couple of support letters. I don't know if it's appropriate for me to hand them in here or just to mail them or whatever.
If you could mail them to Chris Buchan, yeah,
All right.
that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there any other questions while you're here? These are our new neighbors on, number 12 Hazelwood Drive.
No, I don't think so. We just wanted to make sure there were no questions.
Okay. Did you want to say something?
Well, I was just listening to your comments about the homeless warming shelter, and in Kelowna, which is where we just moved from. When the situation gets dire, they use city buses. And they go on the city bus.
Huh.
The city bus form for them.
Interesting.
Then when all the other resources are full, then
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of.
Yeah, we tried that. Was it last year? The first year? Yeah.
We tried.
Yeah, we tried that. I know it's different.
It's
It's difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take good
Nice to
care.
meet you.
Yeah, it's-
Very nice.
Is there a motion to adjourn, please? All those in favor? Thank you.
Was there? Is a question?
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I didn't see him.
Yeah, that's okay. I've been meeting, to take part more as a part of the community. I'll make it quick, sorry.
Sorry, can you just restate your name and address? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Dylan Hill, 2001 7th Ave. Yeah.
Can I, get you to come and sit at the table there?
Join it.
Sorry, just.
Sorry, yeah, to communicate, since it's at the end anyhow. I've been meaning to take part more, I'd like to say that piece and now it's aside. The only thing I'd like to bring before the council, I suppose, is just like maybe like a note. So I understand there's a million other things going on. But like the reflective lights sometimes on the way from, and this might be like a multiple municipality issue as well, because it's Trail, Warfield and Rossland, but it's just like a visibility thing. Sometimes coming up from Trail to Rossland, like when it's extremely foggy, the reflective lights on the way up there, they're not too good, but I brought it up before. Somebody I know playing a game of pool with him, and he said there hasn't been reflective lights there for years, so it's kind of fine. So it's not huge, but yeah.
Are you talking about the actual highway or the signs?
Highway, so yeah,
Yeah, the highway's really bad right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, fair.
even going out to the mall.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see in the fog anyway.
Something interesting, yeah. Things in or whatever the reflectors.
Mhm.
Okay, thanks for coming.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Very much.
Okay, so we already did a motion to adjourn.
Let's do it.
Okay, one more time. Okay, all those in favor? That was carried.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.